Hello and welcome to Democracy in Action. We are at the Third Eye Africa TV here in the Central Business District in Abuja. My name is Ben Shaman, your regular host. We want to talk politics, not of ballot papers today. We want to talk of unionism, the economy, and the way forward. And in terms of unionism, we want to look at the petroleum industry. What is happening? There was a meeting last week between Dangote and many other organizations or unions, and we are told that Dangote has reneged. Is it true? We want to look at that vis-a-vis the fact that there are many unions. We have the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, PETRON. We also have the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers. We're talking of NUPENG. We also have Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASN. We have the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO. We have the Petroleum Tankers Drivers and many others, including, of course, Depot and Petroleum Product Marketing Association of Nigeria. Very many of them. This one is called DAPMAN in short. Now, the question is, let's get this from Nigerians. Should Dangote be selling fuel directly from his refinery to filling stations via his trucking system? Or should there be a third party, like what Nupeng is saying? Before we answer all of this, let us get to know what Nigerians are saying.
This is a very important discussion, because if you look at the issue from both the sides, both between Dangote and Nupe, all of them, almost they are doing for their own interest. And Dangote is a marketing independent. He wants to do something that he favor his market. And Nupe, they are union, and they are stand for their own. They want to do something that benefit their union. But if you look at in the way where the consumer people benefit, that Dangote should directly supply his petroleum to the people, not through Nupe. Because anything that you do third party on it, so there is something that will come additional to the price. So I prepare direct supply than to follow third party.
No, we need the Dangote service directly with us, because even you go to filling station that they are telling us this is a Dangote refinery, filling station. The fuel we get it is better than for us. Because the fuel, if you buy that fuel, it's not burning like other filling station.
My take on that is supplying fuel directly to the filling station is more wiser than supplying it to the third party before reaching the filling station. My reason behind it, I think the Nigerian government used to supply a filling station to third parties before reaching filling station. On the process, the money will be increased instead of using the filling station directly. So that could be my reason.
I don't know their writings, because if you look at, they are there before since. What are they contributed to the people? That's what you want to understand first. But if you look at it like this, Dangote is going to do it directly. But you see, now from the depot, it's 820 naira. If you take it to the direct filling station, it will be 841, like for Abuja. So if you follow through Nupeng, there are something should be additional because for their own interest. Likewise, that's why what I think it will be happening for the better of all of us, we, Nupeng and Dangote, let them come into the table and agree. You know, Dangote Sabi give a share holder. Maybe he will give them a share as a Nupeng, let them handle the carrying something for this road. He will pay them certain amount of something from the transport payment. So if this will happen, it will be better. But what I'm trying to say that, what is it going to be beneficially to the consumer people in the country?
You see, now, if fuel is issued to the third party in a particular or a specific price, the third party may increase the price. So I think for Dangote to issue directly to the filling station would be more preferable.
I think supplying directly is going to be the like is going to be interesting one for lost Nigerians, because I think that will help us reduce the fuel price will be much okay than supplying for the third party. They will buy and they will like want to sell it at their own price, so that will be increased.
What I was suggested and recommended, yes, is Dangote to supply filling station directly, because filling stations directly, because Dangote is the one that invested much in this country in his building this refinery. So he wanted to have a subsidy to Nigerian people. So if he has allowed him to go directly, it will give a very subsidized price to citizens in Nigeria, instead of to divert him from doing so. I think that's what my view is.
No, third party is not the best now, because definitely third party will always shortchange the system, because if it is being supplied directly, you understand, the cost will be minimized. You understand, many people can always purchase the fuel at affordable price. But if a third party comes in, definitely they will add their interest, which will subsidize the supply and the distribution.
It's a welcome idea. This is a man that wants to ease off the hardship on Nigerians. In fact, we are welcome. We are happy with the decision he's about to take or is going to take. And moreover, this new pen of a thing, where were they when all our refineries are down? They are supposed to come out and protest over the non-functional of our refineries, but where are they? Now this man came up with a good idea, good suggestion to help Nigerians to ease up their problem. They are saying no. Why must they? Why must they come up with such a suggestion? In fact, it's wrong. In fact, we are welcome with Dangote's idea. So, and secondly, in fact, Nigerians need to even fight Nupeng. We need to come out and fight them, fight for our right from Nupeng. I think that is what it's supposed to be. Because look at the transportation now from Abuja to Nasarawa, from Nasarawa to Jos, or from Jos. In fact, if I'm going to, by the time I'm traveling to Jos, then 500 naira will take me to Jos. But now I have to plant for 8,000 naira from here to Jos. 8,000 naira for what? So I think they don't like Nigerians to get out of issues, get out of problem. So I think through your media house, I think we can be able to you can sell the ideas to government, especially government need to come in.
I don't think so, because it's going to be like a business, and someone who gets from there, we need to like add his own profit, because everybody want to buy and sell at their own price. So it's going to be a different this thing. So supplying direct to the free station is interesting one.
Like I said, my name is Benjamin. We're looking at to be or not to be. Is Dangote allowing his members, workers, to join associations? Are they unionized? Should they be? Should they not be? We want to discuss this and more. And I have with me Dr. Billy Gillis Harry. He's the president, Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria. Many associations in the oil sector What's your take on that?
Well, first of all, thank you, Mr. Ben, for having me in your studio this morning. Many associations, that is your thoughts, but it's not many. It's relevant stakeholders in the oil and gas industry that have, in the last 6-7 decades, have consistently served Nigerians. The subject that you have raised today is Dangote's refinery workers. Should they be in union or not? There are quite a lot of risks. Any enterprise of the size of Dangote to have staff, workers that are not having additional discipline by their union leaders. For instance, Nupeng, as it is today, is the unofficial security the industry has to protect us, the retail outlet owners, retail outlets, the depot and Petroleum Marketers Association. Their depots, as you know, some of these depots have up to 40, 60 million liters worth of storage capacity. And the major energies marketers association of Nigeria, MIMAN, is also very critical. These are leaders. These are industry leaders that have been there before indigenization. So there are not too many unions, but there are stakeholders that help to make sure that the industry is stable. Now you talk about the NATO, you talk about PTD, you talk about Nogasa. Every one of us have very distinct service to render to make Nigeria much more progressive, because this is one sector of the economy that is laced with the security of the country. So which is why it's important for all of these stakeholders to at all times look forward to giving the Nigerian the best service. And that's what these associations are doing.
Okay. Now, I can see that before now, each time unions would have negotiations, they would either do it in State House. But today, it's like the thing is with the DSS. Why was it that DSS was the choice in terms of negotiations?
Well, like I said earlier, without preempting this question, energy is a very top level, top agenda security item. Wars are lost or won by the energy security of that country. Now, once there are disagreements in the system, such as the one that was brought up last week between Dangote, Nupeng, PTD, and of course, those of us who know the danger of what that difficulty will be that came out to call for the government's intervention, is that it can easily snowball into a very raucous and very difficult situation, because once there is a strike action that is going to create crowds to be gathered in any place, chances are that any other element other than the progressive values of ensuring that the purpose is done for the good of Nigeria can just join in. And then it becomes rowdy, becomes violent, becomes difficult. So where do you go to? You go to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, whose duty is it to protect lives and properties and also ensure that we live in a good economy. So who are the elements, who are the leaders that will have to work on that? It was the Ministry of Labor that called for the truce. But obviously, some of the parties that were participating became, very difficult to handle. And when that happens, and every side of the divide digs in, the next thing that's going to happen will be a security situation. So, and that's why the security's immediate intervention is applauded by Petron.
So, You trust the DSS in terms of negotiations?
Well, the DSS was involved they're involved in learning because we are not in the room. Most of the stakeholders were not in the room because we are not fighting Dangote for union issues. We are not doing anything other than saying, look, Mrs. Dangote, we want to work with you. We want your refinery to be successful. Please focus on your refining. Let depot marketers and Miman and Petron manage the storage and the distribution. And let NATO take charge of taking the product because we don't have any reliable source of transportation except the tankers. So if that is the case, we should be able to look at what NATO's value in this equation is. So we are not in the room. Those who were in the room were just the labor, ministries of labor. When the conversation broke down, obviously, all the leaders in the industry would be there. So the regulator would be there. The finance minister, who is the chairman of the economic team, will be there. Because once there is a breakdown in energy, it's going to affect so many things in the country that will impact negatively on our economy. Mm-hmm. So all the ministers, Minister of Petroleum, Oil, Senator Lukubri was also there, made sure that he did all that he can to keep the industry completely peaceful and progressive. Mm-hmm. But the DSS is the one that has all the details because they are into security, so they know much more about the difficulties and things that will happen. So, of course, when one party is not behaving well, the law will be interpreted properly. And everybody, yes, the second meeting was held in the DSS because it has gotten serious. If the second meeting did not bring the result I brought it today, nobody knows what would have happened. So kudos to the Director General of DSS for a good job done.
Mm. Now, so what really, even though you've told of some of the things on the map, what's on the table now? Because we are told Dangote has reneged.
Well, he reneged on the first agreement by trying to remove all the stickers of Nupeng from all the trucks that were loading, especially the trucks that were brought in by MRS. That has been solved. The stickers have been placed back in all the trucks. And I believe that we should have peace. The next line of argument that will come is even the most critical. Because if today Dangote is allowed to be the only company that's going to supply petroleum products in Nigeria, Nigeria will be shortchanged. So right now you have thousands and thousands of retail outlets. You have over 150 storage facilities in the country that are designed to hold petroleum products for on-season and off-season in case of scarcity and whatever. And these depots could do a lot in deepening the efficiency and the distribution system of the Dangote refinery. So what we are saying is that, look, stay with your refining and allow us to do the other part of the equation. And such synergy of stakeholders can be more efficient and beneficial to Nigerians. But Dangote wants to refine, he wants to store, he wants to give us product at the gantry, and then he wants to deliver in the trucks to our retail outlets. First, it will be too cumbersome for one company to do that.
But I can see that he has already bought some of the tankers too.
That's only 4,000. Even if he brought the 10,000 trucks he's envisaging, in our opinion, it will be an addition to the infrastructure for transportation and safe transportation of petroleum products. That does not give him the right to want to do this business that is paid for, free as he touted, when we in the industry know that it is impossible to do a free service. Yes, we know that Dangote by himself is a philanthropist, but this is a business. It's a business, and nobody gets into business without envisaging for profits. It's profit that drives the growth and efficiency of the business. So when you have 4,000 trucks trying to replace the work for 30,000 tankers, you can tell what's going to happen. I'm sure you were one of those who would have seen when NNPC stations have fuel during the subsidy regime, and then other stations also have fuel. You see that everybody stays on the queue for the NNPC refinery, which will take, retail outlet, which will now take convoluted lines that sometimes can go into 2-3 streets. Now look at the loss of man-hour, as opposed to if NNPC was selling the product within the... So we have seen this type of experiment with NNPC. And somebody will ask, okay, when NNPC did it, why didn't people say that? We're just waking up.
Exactly, because...
Yeah, we are just waking up because when NNPC did that, they were refining, they were storing, they were distributing because they had, and then they also had retail outlets. Now you can see the reason why the NNPC experiment was not successful.
Now, Dangote is also saying that direct trucking is going to reduce costs from him to filling stations. So what is wrong with that?
Well, direct trucking for how many days? How many weeks? How many months? How many years? So why is direct trucking in cement not reducing the cost of cement?
Tell us that.
No, but I've just said it. So there are experiments that have been done in other segments of the economy that we should all know that this is just a ploy to take over the business, push every one of us out of business, and be the only one that's going to run the business, and which will be to the high disadvantage of Nigerians. So the Nigerians are applauding because they think that indeed it's going to be free. It will not be free because it's a service. Unless you don't want the refinery to start producing again. Unless you don't want the refinery to be efficient. And we want the refinery to be efficient because it's a pride to us. It's a pride to Nigeria. It's a pride to Africa that we have such a 5-star investment on our shores.
Now, the Depot and Petroleum Product Marketers Association of Nigeria is also accusing Dangote. They said, look, when it comes home, he sells higher, but abroad he sells lower.
Well,
that the examples are in Ghana and all that stuff.
Well,
how true is this?
Well, Petron don't buy products from Dangote to export. We only buy from him to distribute to our retail outlets. So we know what we are talking about in the retail space in the domestic market. And even at that, Petron also have access to members who have tank depots in Port Harcourt, in Warri, in Calabar, that will be able to make our business much more efficient. So why is it not giving us a product to load coastally and compete within the price margin of what is given internationally? So that man is right. And that is the major issue that is brewing, not even the union. The union issue is just a small part of the fray. The main issues that must be addressed would be that, look, Dangote refinery refine, or any other refinery for that matter, refine, and then allow the value chain in the industry to be able to do the needful to ensure that Nigerians get product. You know, Nigerians are clapping, and we all have bad names for saying, no, don't do it like this. We are protecting Nigerians for the future. Because this is how cement started, this is how sugar started, and when very dependable players that can compete in the industry were not there, prices were set at will. For instance, can you explain today why a product that is going to be in Lagos should set at 841 naira? What is the dynamics that has it's just deliberate self-decision for pricing. So if he can reduce it, he can increase it. And don't forget, when he started with about 1,000 something for diesel. Then he brought it down sharply and then took it up. So what are we clapping for?
Well, Nigerians are actually worried. They say, look, Dangote has come. He has changed the dynamics. The queues are no longer there.
He has changed the dynamics, and we are very happy about that. But it is better to have the peace that is long distance than to have the peace of the graveyard. Right now, the products that are coming out there, the pricing that is rolled out, they are not real, because when you look at the market dynamics and the cost dynamics of producing 1 liter of product, and the envisaged profit margin by the PIA, because even the Petroleum Industry Act gives us a control of how we should be able to work and make sure we are competitive. So I cannot just wake up now and just, okay, let's look at this now. We all bought product from Dangote Refinery, and then MRS is selling close to my station. And then suddenly, MRS knocks down our price. And the same product I have paid 869 naira, 65 naira, and adding cost of transportation, which will never be less than 50 naira, from Lagos to Port Harcourt, or to any of the eastern flanks. That's why you see there's always a high price margin between products sold in Lagos and Port Harcourt. And then by the time I want to sell, MRS has knocked down their price. What is the target? I want to sell because the money I use to buy the product is from a financial institution, and I have to pay them. I cannot keep their money for more than necessary. So I sell, at least just to get the capital. If I got the capital and paid back, where else do I get the money to go and replenish?
Okay, let me ask this, even though it sounds basic. If Dangote were to flood the streets with his own petrol tankers,
yes,
do you think members of this association will be pushed to the unemployment market? Dangote decides to build his depot, he decides to do direct trucking and all that stuff.
No, but that's exactly what is going to happen. And if we are not very mindful, we'll enter into that trap. Because we have seen it in cement. So I really don't even understand why Nigerians are, our memories don't seem to help us when we have to evaluate issues like this. So, okay, if you want to do direct trucking that is free, why have you not started with cement? Why do you want to do it in the petroleum industry? Simple, because he's a new entrant. He hasn't sat very well. So the strategy is drive everybody out with pricing mechanism. And when everybody is out, of course, the price of petroleum will be quite high. So the idea is, okay, there is product going all over the country, but are you not seeing the Dangote cement kiosks all over the country? So has that reduced the price of cement? So we need to be realistic. And we are not against him. We are honest to him. If he has a real time to sit down on a round table with stakeholders, we'll all work out this and make sure that the industry works for the benefit of Nigerians.
So outside...
30,000 trucks will go out of work. The moment there is a free service for 10,000 trucks that is going to be doing the same service. And it will not be enough to serve Nigerians. So what are we talking? Do the maths. For every tanker that's going to go out of business, a driver will be lost, a spare driver will be lost, a tanker boy will be lost, and all of these people have families. So the bigger macroeconomic disadvantage is simply looking at us in the face. And what somebody like me, that's having all the flax from everywhere, is doing, is to continue to be patriotic, to protect you. Because energy is very critical.
But some other people are of the opinion, in fact, as of today, that look, those who want to just do direct lifting, direct sell to Dangote, go register. And they're saying...
We are all registered with Dangote. My companies are registered with Dangote. And I lived from Dangote.
Now, if Dangote says, I don't like unionism within my refinery, has he that constitutional right?
Well, it's clearly, if he had the constitutional right, then Minister of Labour would have declared that. But that's not what it is. The industry, so then anybody can wake up. Shell will wake up now and say, we can't have union. And then you'll be operating just anyhow you like. Don't all the major companies have unions across in France, in the UK, in America, everywhere? Yeah. So there's a reason for union. And for us in this part of the world, it's a big protection for us.
So some people are also saying that some people we spoke to, they said, look, the unions can go picketing. Is it possible that you picket?
We do not want to get to that point. Petron is not a labor union. Petron is an organization that has in our employment labor union members. And for instance, in the last strike attempt, our staff stopped coming to work on Sunday.
So why is it that there's this much pressure on Dangote Petroleum or refinery, and we are not seeing that pressure mounted on NNPC and refineries?
NNPC quite has a lot of pressure, especially from groups like us. But the NNPC has not come out in the public to say, oh, don't do this. Don't unionize our staff. So that's the difference. NNPC is under massive pressure. That's why they are trying to even bring out different business packages to make sure that the refineries are working. And we are told that some of us as Nigerians already wrote off the refinery. A refinery that has been billions and billions of dollars have been invested there.
And I'm sure some of
those refineries must work. And I know that they will work. I believe that those refineries will work. It's just for us to get it right. And we have offered, by the way, to NNPC. Petron is ready to partner with them, to bring our own technical partners, our own financial partners, to at least to take one of those refineries and make it work.
But in the midst of that, look at the money that was pumped into these refineries for turnaround maintenance.
I'm very, very incompetent to make comments on that because I'm not an NNPC staff and I'm not from the Ministry of Finance that, midwifed all of those monies. So our own thing as practitioners in the industry is we're patriotic enough to tell them, sorry, you have not done well, or sorry, good kudos, you have done well. And let's see how it works.
Yes, I can see that we're running short of time, but not without this one. It looks like Dangote is taking the he's the pace setter. He would jack up the prices. He comes down. Then the government refineries or NNPC will start following behind, which is supposed to be the other way around. Dangote is playing a humanist kind of a thing.
No, it's not. It's a business strategy. It's a business strategy. When you look at some of the players in the world, like Standard Oil example in America, it's the same strategy. And recently in India, you see the strategy of the Reliance Group, led by Mr. Ambani. So it's just it's a strategy to gain market share. And to be honest to you, if it's done well, the entire country will benefit. But if the purpose is what am I going to do with my staff if I close my station tomorrow? So the objective will be that Dangote will offer to me, he wants to buy my retail outlet. I don't want to mention some companies that have already gone to even my retail outlets in rural areas to brand them.
Finally, now we're told that because of Dangote refinery, companies abroad that were refining that Nigeria will go and import from are closing because there is a source here in Nigeria. West African countries are now buying in Nigeria. How has that changed?
I said it here that every Nigerian is, if they are not, ought to be extremely proud of Dangote's courage. And that's why we want to contribute to the success of that refinery. And we don't want anything wrong to happen to the refinery. When that refinery starts being involved in different arms of the same business, and like what the NNPC did, we are afraid that that may also happen. We want Dangote to be that shining star, but let that shining stay with all of us, so that when he shines, we shine a little bit to keep our families also going and continue to make sure that the tax net is expanded, our families are okay, and the economy benefits.
And that's why he's building the largest fertilizer company in Ethiopia.
We salute him. And like I said, we want Dangote Refinery to be successful.
We want to thank you at this point, Dr. Billy Gillis Harry. He is the President, Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Patron for short. I want to thank you for coming to Third Eye Africa TV.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. This is Democracy in Action in Nigeria. We looked at union activities, the petroleum industry, and all that stuff. My name is Ben Shaman. Keep watching us. As we say, bye for now. And proudly Nigeria.
Very proudly Africa.
Thank you.